Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Heat forward thinks many players lack mental and physical strength needed to succeed in Miami. Haywood Highsmith just finished his third season with the Miami Heat, and the 27-year-old has learned that the team's standards aren't for everybody, with some NBA players not mentally and physically strong enough to hack it there. It's been all about winning championships, Highsmith told Hoops Hype of the Heat culture. That's the top priority. They're a team that's always going to try to compete for a championship each year. You never hear anything about them tanking or none of that stuff. It feels like a family there. They're going to tell you how it is. They're not going to sugarcoat it. It's a place that's not for everybody, for sure. A lot of people can't stick out there if they go there because they're not mentally and physically strong enough. They're going to push you for sure because they're trying to get the best out of you and win a championship. Heat culture is real. I've been blessed to be a part of that for the past 3 years. Despite being eliminated from the 2024 NBA playoffs in the first round, the Heat had been perennial contenders for the championship, having reached the 2023 NBA Finals as well as the 2020 NBA Finals. Though they lost both of those series and have not won the title since 2013, they did advance to the Eastern Conference Finals 3 times in a 4-season span from 2020 to 2023. That could make Miami an attractive landing spot for Donovan Mitchell if the Cleveland Cavaliers ultimately decide to part with their star player, possibly in a trade. Whether Mitchell is the type of player Highsmith is referring to would be interesting to find out. Injuries had a significant impact on the Heat this season, as Highsmith was one of only 4 players to appear in as many as 65 regular season games. For example, franchise player Jimmy Butler appeared in only 60 regular season games and then missed all of the 5-game first-round playoff loss to the Boston Celtics after getting injured in their first play-in tournament game. An undrafted player who played at the NCAA Division II level, Highsmith has been able to carve out a useful role primarily as a reserve under head coach Erik Spoelstra. This season, he averaged 6.1 points and 3.2 rebounds per game in 66 regular season appearances that included 26 starts. About to become an unrestricted free agent this summer, he could be in line for a significant contract. He said he would love to stay with the Heat, showing he believes himself capable of dealing with their high standards and the challenges they present. "I'd love to stay in Miami for sure," Highsmith said. "I feel like I've built a great life out here. My daughter lives out here as well. If all things are close, I definitely would love to stay in Miami, but we'll see when that time comes. I'll still be the same person no matter how much I get paid or whatever happens. I'll still be in the gym locked in and trying to win a championship." The Heat certainly will look to further improve their roster this coming offseason. It remains to be seen where Highsmith fits in those plans. Report: Miami Heat indirectly played role in Luka Doncic's game-winning shot over Rudy Gobert. ESPN's own Young Masuk explained that Luka Doncic's game-winning three-pointer over Rudy Gobert in Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals between the Dallas Mavericks and Minnesota Timberwolves was the result of Dallas running a set that it borrowed from the Miami Heat. With 12.8 seconds left and Game 2 hanging in the balance, Jason Kidd drew up a play called Miami, Young Masuk said. "Borrowed from the Miami Heat," Kidd told me. "The Mavericks play out of the set often. The hope was to get Rudy Gobert to switch on to Luka and let Doncic dance." Doncic's clutch three-pointer in the waning moments of Game 2 secured the Mavericks a 1-point victory as well as a commanding 2-0 series lead. The 25-year-old's offensive brilliance against Minnesota on Friday extended beyond just that one shot. He totaled a triple-double of 32 points, 10 rebounds, and 13 assists on 10 of 23 shooting from the floor and 5 of 11 shooting from deep. The Slovenian's triple-double versus the Timberwolves marked the 8th of his playoff career. Doncic already is tied for having the 10th most triple-doubles of any player in playoff history, despite the fact that he just turned 25 years old in February. The Mavericks, led by their duo of Doncic and Kyrie Irving, are now only 2 wins away from their first appearance in the NBA Finals in over a decade. The last time Dallas appeared in the championship series was in 2011, when the Mavericks eliminated LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh and the Heat in 6 games. While the Mavericks are in a prime position to advance past the conference finals and represent the West in the NBA Finals, it could be costly if Dallas were to take its foot off the pedal in Sunday's Game 3, especially against a team as battle-tested as the Timberwolves. After all, Minnesota just recently won 3 games on the road in its second-round playoff series against the Denver Nuggets, who won the 2023 title. The Timberwolves rallied back from a 2-3 series hole to win in 7 games, and Minnesota beat the Nuggets at Ball Arena by 8 points in Game 7. Come Sunday night, NBA fans will know whether the Mavericks will take a 3-0 lead in the best-of-7 series or if the Timberwolves will pick up their first victory in the Western Conference Finals. Heat trade proposal lands $215 million All-NBA guard for Tyler Herro. The Miami Heat may need more offensive firepower knowing their aspirations. While it may sound a little extreme, one player who could solve all of their problems on that end is Trae Young. Young may have a new home this offseason, and if the Atlanta Hawks follow through on trading him, Bleacher Report's Andy Bailey proposed the following trade that would send him to the Heat. Bailey explained why Young would fit with what Miami needs. For Miami, this would be a talent play. The Heat ranked 21st in offensive rating this season, and Young, despite his flaws and the steady flow of criticism he's faced over the years, remains one of the NBA's most dynamic offensive engines. He added that should a trade happen, the Heat would have to shore up their depth, but seemed optimistic about them doing just that. The Heat would have to scour free agency or the undrafted free agent market to find depth around Young, Jimmy Butler, and Bam Adebayo, but they've proven adept at that in the past. Young and the Hawks haven't had much success outside of their Cinderella run to the Eastern Conference Finals in 2021. Young will enter the 3rd year of a 5-year, $215 million contract. Because the Hawks have underwhelmed after their Eastern Conference Finals run, they could be in for some major changes. Hoops Hype's Michael Scotto reported that the Hawks could trade either Young or Murray this offseason. There's a widespread belief among rival executives that the Hawks will break up their backcourt and part with either Trae Young or DeJounte Murray this offseason. In years past, there was strong resistance to moving Young, but rival executives believe Atlanta will be more open to that conversation this offseason than ever before. Young has quite the rap sheet, having made the All-Star team 3 times and making an All-NBA appearance. If he is on the market, the offer that Bailey outlines would be a strong offer for Young. Miami has hit home runs with multiple trades, like trading for Shaquille O'Neal and Jimmy Butler. The Hawks star has his warts, but the Heat are running out of time with Butler. Young could salvage what's left of Miami's time with Butler. In a May 22 story, Bailey explained why Murray is a realistic option for the Heat. His defense isn't on the level it was with the San Antonio Spurs, but Miami could get him back there. And the maximized version of Murray, Bam Adebayo, and Jimmy Butler, assuming he's still around, could lead a nightmarish defense. Murray's playmaking and improved outside shot would also represent an offensive upgrade over last season's point guard minutes from Kyle Lowry and Terry Rozier. Since the Hawks acquired Murray, they have not done what they hoped they would do. Murray has made an all-star team and has good size for a point guard. He is the ultimate matchup problem. Even if things haven't worked out the way he and the Hawks would have liked, it may ultimately be due to him being miscast. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Trae Young? Leave your opinion in the comments.